Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again to a new edition of Brownsville Matters. I'm your host, Dr. W.F. Strong, and I have with me today Deyanira Ramirez from the Brownsville Museum of Art. Am I saying that right? Is it the Brownsville Museum of Art?
Yes, correct.
Okay. I didn't know if it had a longer name. A lot of institutions have longer names than I know, so I'm just checking to make sure that's right.
And sometimes people knows the museum like BMFA, but Brownsville Museum of Fine Art.
Fine Art, right.
Yes.
Who are your favorite artists in history?
Oh my God! Well, that's a tough question. There are several.
Not Gabriel. Gabriel's here, and I'm sure he's one of your favorite. But in terms of the grand history of humanity, who stands out for you?
Well, you know what? You be learning through the years,
Sure.
so sometimes you cannot got like a one favorite
Right.
one,
Well,
but I like
give me two or
difference,
three.
like, I don't know, Picasso is
Picasso,
an
yes.
inspiration for a lot of artists, but talking here in the Rio Grande Valley locally, there's some abstract artists that are really impressive. And I would like to mention Gabriel Treviño's art is really different. I mean, it's super colorful, but also, I mean, there how can I say? We have different techniques, some sculptures. There is a professor at UTRGV, Mr. Stephen Hawks, who creates that type of sculptures, and it's different. He projects his art in a different way. Photographers, I don't know, Carlos Núñez. He's a photographer, but he does landscaping, but as well, he's photographing the
He does magnificent
rocket.
photography.
So, it can be, he can transport you to the Sopadre Island or to the landscaping views, to the resacas, but also to the space. So it's like, wow.
He does just magnificent photographs of resacas.
Yes, that's
Soft light and early morning, just gorgeous.
Yes.
I post a lot of his photographs. I have a Facebook page called Stories from Texas, where I post a lot of the great photography of the grand state of Texas, all parts. And there's 200,000 people who follow that page. So I'm always looking for great content. But Carlos has such fantastic photos of the Rio Grande Valley. I'm always snapping his up and sharing them, and everybody adores them. So that's at least one area of local artistry that I'm able to share on the larger stage because of its incredible quality. Of course, I don't do much in the way of paintings because the paintings don't have generally what I call broad appeal, but for the Facebook page. But for photographs, I mean, I can hardly beat Carlos Núñez's photographs for this area, for representing, this area. And I have some for West Texas and some that are kind of particularly good at the piney woods or the beaches. Núñez, of course, very good at the coast as well. So, but you do photographs, right? You have exhibitions of photographers.
Oh, yes. We receive all kind of techniques, watercolors, paintings, sculptures, photography. Yes, it's different. So we're open to also experience some other art, like music and performances, ballet. So, the museum is open for that. And I like to learn from those artists because they become inspiration for the community. So,
What is your background in the arts yourself? How did you come to be director of the Brownsville Museum of Fine Arts?
Well, actually, my background is on accounting. I'm an
accounting?
accountant. Yes, I'm a public accountant. I studied in Matamoros, Tamaulipas, and I was hired at the museum, and I started doing bookkeeping. Actually, I've been learning arts through the years that I'm working at the museum.
Well, artists need good money managers because, the starving artist is quite a quite a legitimate stereotype.
Yes,
they need someone to pay attention to the money.
Exactly, and nonprofit organizations.
Absolutely.
I mean, you need to play with those dollars that you have and see the best way to use them and to invest and to expand it and then look for some more. So, that's my background.
Like a lot of the great gallery owners in New York and other places, they're not artists themselves, but they understand the business of art.
Yes, at the end, it's a business. Yeah, even if your passion is the arts or your passion is to serve the community and the nonprofit area, at the end, it's a business. So you need to raise some funds in order to continue bringing programs, exhibitions, activities for the community. So, yeah.
But it's always one of my favorite things to do when I go to any of the great cities of the world. I think I spend most of my time in art galleries. If I go to, I go to San Antonio, I'll go to art galleries, or if I go to New Orleans, I'll go to art galleries and look at all the paintings I'll never be able to afford.
Well, I know. It's all, I mean, through the museum is in passing all kind of art pieces and all prices as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, people visit the museum, afford what they can, and some others are, I don't know, even they don't like it or it's too expensive, but at the end, the museum gets benefit of every single piece that we got sold. So I encourage the community to visit and to purchase, and yeah.
About the only kind of really fine art that I've been able to afford of a kind of classic nature have been paintings that are imitations of classics. Like I was down in San Miguel once, and I bought a piece for about $400 that was an imitation of, I think his name is Boleo. He's a South American painter who paints really large people, round people, and he was all the rage for a while.
Okay.
And so I bought one of his paintings, but it was an imitation of one of his paintings.
Botero? No.
Might be right. Botero might be right. Yeah, I forgot.
Yes.
Because it's been like 20 years since I bought that, and I've already sold it to somebody else. But at the time, and it probably still is, but at the time he was particularly well known. I remember I'd seen something on 60 Minutes about him. But San Miguel de Allende, of course, is a great artist community.
Yes, Mexico has a great artist as well, and people like to traveling. It has a lot of culture and history. So as a museum, you need to explore those areas and be in contact with different artists and try to bring as much as we can with the resources that we have to have it available for the community. So yeah, it's a challenge.
So
it's a really challenge.
How often do you have shows for artists that are from Mexico, let's say, from the interior, from San Miguel or Guanajuato or whatever?
Well, currently we're preparing an exhibit that is coming, and those artists and the art pieces are coming from Oaxaca, Mexico. We call it alebrijes.
Oh,
that's
wonderful.
the type of artwork that is coming, and also with that, we're planning to do some workshops. This exhibit is a collaboration, and the museum is super exciting to receive this art and have it available for the community that for any reason cannot travel to Mexico. But in the past, we've been receiving different artists, either from Monterrey, from Guadalajara, and also the museum hosts the International Art Show. So in the past, we received some applications for artists all over the Mexico, and we exhibit their pieces. And I remember one of the exhibitions that we have from an artist, Sebastian. His artwork, sculptures were a linear park and inside the museum. It was a couple of years ago, but also the brothers Marin. They came with sculptures and some paintings. So, yeah, it's quite a bit. We like to invite artists, also give opportunities for the community here in the Rio Grande Valley and United States. But we like to be in exchanging culture exhibitions with Mexico, our country.
Do you pay for these traveling exhibits? Do you have to pay them?
It all depends. We've been receiving some that those are traveling exhibits, but we collaborate with some other institutions and raise those funds, or they sponsor the exhibit and we just host it.
Okay.
But regularly, no, the museum does not pay to bring exhibits. Yeah, no.
Well, I know there's always lots of traveling exhibits out of Smithsonian or other such institutions where they go around the country and stay a week and go somewhere else in a week. So I know some of those, you have to pay for them, right?
Yes, yeah, for those, yes. And the last one that we received, traveling exhibit, it was in collaboration with UTRGV. It was last year, and it was regarding Dolores Huerta, an activist. And that exhibit stayed at the museum for close to 2 months. So yeah, those are the kind of opportunities as a nonprofit that you take. And when, like the one that I was talking about, the Alebrijes, is in collaboration with the Miriculture District and the city of Brownsville. So they have the funds, we have the building, so we just put those efforts together and bring something attractive for the community.
Do you sometimes work in collaboration with the McAllen Museum of Fine Arts?
We haven't so far, but I mean, it's in our plans, like do something, yes. Also with Monterrey, and why not Corpus Christi Museum?
Idea.
Because they have a fine art museum as well on Corpus. So yeah, that's what we want. Locally, yes, we collaborate with different museums and nonprofits, but we would like to expand the horizon and see what else we can do.
It's a great idea to create a consortium where you can share costs and bring it. In fact, I was reading recently, they talk in Texas economy about the triangle, the economic triangle that is San Antonio, Dallas, and Houston, and that region is an international powerhouse of economy because of the synthesis of those cities and that triangle. But they're talking about a second triangle now of great power, and it is San Antonio, Monterrey, and Brownsville, and everything in there, McAllen, et cetera, perhaps even Laredo, but essentially those 3 points make for a triangle, and so you could even think of it as kind of an artistic triangle too.
It is. Right? It is. Actually, the museum just received some applications for 2024, and some of the applicants are for Reynosa, from Monterrey, so locally as well, but also for San Antonio, from Austin, from Arizona. So yeah, that is important to have like that triangle, San Antonio, Monterrey, Brownsville, because it's the community just traveling around, seeing what everybody has to offer, and that create more traffic and more economic development for the city, for our city. So hopefully we can keep those strong relationship with, yes.
Does Matamoros have a museum of fine art too?
No, they don't. They have museums. Casamata and some other museum, but no a fine art museum.
And they have great theater.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been to that theater, but I hear people talk about it. Is it big, the theater over there?
Not that big. I mean, for the city, it's fine. It's the Teatro de la Reforma.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
It's downtown in Matamoros and La Calle Sexta. So, yeah, but it's quite nice. And yeah, I've been there a couple of times. Not often, but yeah.
It holds like 200 people, 300 people?
To be honest, I don't have that number with me, but I think more than 200 maybe.
And
yes.
it's a very old theater, right? It's been renovated, but it's one of the older buildings in Matamoros. It's been around a long time.
Yes, and also they use it for other performances just for the city or for those festival on the October festival that they have those festivities and some guests that they invite or performance for the community. So stand-ups, activities and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, they have
And you grew up in Matamoros?
Yes, I born and grew up in Matamoros.
You were born and raised there?
Yes.
So what changes have you seen in your lifetime in the two communities, in Matamoros, Brownsville? What are the major changes you've known? I mean, obviously there's many.
Yes, I remember when I was little. Well, we were little because I have 3 sisters. My mom and dad just crossed the border, bring us to do some shopping or some having, I don't know, some food, lunch or something here in Brownsville, going to the mall and those charros, fiesta, events.
Like the Amigo Land Mall?
The Amigo Land Mall, yes. And, excuse me, I remember that it was like new for us, right, to come in and experience, and the community was like, okay, this is the U.S. community, this is Mexico community. But now I'm checking, I'm seeing that there is more stronger. People feel like it's no border, so people can just go back and forth and feel like we're family. I mean, I like that. I've been living here in Brownsville for a lot of years, and I moved up to the north, and then I came back. But I like this area. I like how the government talk and collaborate with the others, and the charros fiestas. You know, there's like a huge festivity here in these two localities, but also for the art museum and the collaboration with the kids and the schools on Matamoros. That is better and stronger than in the past.
You said you went north for a while. Where'd you go?
Yes, Portland, Oregon.
You went to Portland?
Yes, we lived there. Well, when I got married a couple of years later, my husband got a job there. So
Paradise in the rain.
Oh, yes. Yeah, but I love it. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. I lived up there myself many years ago. I was in Corvallis, which is to the south, about 70 miles south of that. It was where Oregon State University is, but it is. It's paradise in the rain. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Much of the year. I was surprised it didn't snow. You know, I mean, very, very rarely did you get snow. I thought, you know, you're up north, and if you go to the other side of the mountains, the Cascades, toward Bend, it snows a lot. But on this side, the coastal side of the mountain range, it mostly just rains. Now, Mount Hood, where you were, they got a lot of snow on top of Mount Hood.
Beautiful, yes. I have that experience. And one of my son, he born over there.
Oh, he's born there?
Yes. He's the only one. My girls are from Brownsville. He's
an Oregonian.
Yes.
So he just naturally likes rain.
Yes, yeah. And we went just a couple of months ago, I think, and he met his city.
His city.
Yes. So it was awesome.
So how long were you there?
2 years.
Just 2 years.
Yes, 2 years.
That's great.
I know.
It was a wonderful experience. I was there the same amount of time, 2 years I was there teaching at Oregon State. But actually it's what sent me home, because I just got tired of no sun. I said, I got to go back to Texas where I'll see the sun.
The sun, and you have a beach really close, and you have Mexico. So
I went 6 weeks without seeing the sun.
Wow.
Once, and I remember this is so depressing. But I also had the response, even as a gringo, I had the response because it was such a different culture and so white. I had this kind of ridiculous response within me because I grew up here. And I had that moment one day where I said, you know, ¿Dónde está mi gente? You know, where are my people? Since I was used to the Mexican influence everywhere, and the food.
And the food,
and
yes.
The food.
No, believe me, I'm from Mexico,
I know.
so the Mexican food, it was good, but it was like, oh, this is not like my mom's.
Quite. No.
It's not like my town, but it was okay, and we
it was generic.
We used to it, yes.
It was generic.
But you were missing, your family, because everybody was here. And
that's
we
true.
were there, and it was not easy just to travel like, I don't know, every couple of
long
months.
Way.
Yeah,
long way home. That's for sure.
So we stayed there for 2 years, and then we say, okay, time to go back, and now we're here.
When did you become director of the museum? You said you were an accountant for a while, a bookkeeper, and then so at what point did you take over as director?
Well, I was hired in 2006 at the museum as a bookkeeper, and then I've been just working and assisting different areas. But in 2017, it was like I become interim director, and then in a year I become the executive director. Yeah, so far from them. So,
what are your dreams for the museum? What would you like to see it be in 10 years?
Well, my dream for the museum is to continue bringing more nice and exhibits, but also opportunities, educational opportunities and workshops, classes, educational for our kids, for the young community, and giving that opportunity for those artists to express their art through the exhibitions, but be the inspiration for those young and kids community that I would like to serve, continue serving. I mean, we're serving those, but I would like to, make it more stronger, more attractive for community. You know, that a lot of people visit museum because even they like it and they are artists, or because they've been, I don't know, asking for the teachers to go and visit museums, or because that's the field trip that the school select. But I like for them to convince themselves and for those kids to take the opportunity to experience one classes or two classes or a summer classes, and then they tell their parents, you know what, I like this, I learned this at the museum. And for those parents to say, okay, well, let me see what is my son talking about. Or the other way around, for those parents that like museums and art, to encourage those kids and have that like same way you go to the church on Sundays or you go to school Monday through Friday. Okay, make it like a one trip during the month. Okay, this day want to be visiting museum or art institutions or, I don't know, history activities or visiting the parks in the city. So I would like to make the museum more attractive for the community.
One summer 5 years ago or so, I was down for about a month in Mexico City. And my daughter was 3 years old, and we used to take her to the Children's Museum most every day. And she would get to play with the arts, she would get to paint, or they also had, kind of like the Children's Museum here, they had a little kitchen where they could go and pretend to cook. But I was just very impressed with all the artistic elements in their Children's Museum. The museum was fantastic. Just huge and a child's dream, for sure. But within the museum, they had lots of arts programs for the kids. And so you do the same, right?
Yes. We have activities and classes, art classes or music classes for kids, 6 years and up to 12. That's the community that we serve with those classes. We are preparing something for the youth community. Those kids starting the 13 years old, they don't know what to do. They don't like everything. So we have a challenge to bring some programs for the kids, those teenagers, 13 years old up to 17. And for adults, we have classes. For our members, we have also art classes or some music classes. But yeah, that's what we do. And also those exhibits and presentations or performances. But we like to continue supporting the kids, the community. Those are the future artists, so we can give them some tools and we can let them experience. If they want to become artists, okay, at least they have that since they were little.
I heard that in New York and some of the big cities for teenagers, they actually have classes in graffiti where they, give them a canvas, so to speak, and
super exciting.
And let them
take that class.
let them be graffiti artists, to be taggers, but in a way that's safe and productive. I guess they're not harming a building, but it's an art form, really.
Yes.
Graffiti is an art form. It's been around thousands of years.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But some community or people classify that like, no, that is not art, or it is on the street. Or if you're studying, you're not that kind of person to do graffiti. But no, it is art.
It is art. Yeah.
It is art. And the city is getting more murals as well here. It's not because it's graffiti, but it's also art, it's painting, it's experience, it's expression. So we're as a museum, being part of 2 murals, collaborating with some other institutions here. And we learn a lot. So we invite some other artists, students that would like to be volunteers in those projects. And what I like the most is just asking them, did you learn something? Yes, it was so exciting. I learned this. I would like to become one of those artists and apply and see if I can paint some murals or because I start doing graffiti at home. And I say, okay, well, that's art. So it's the way that you see it. The art.
Well, a lot of people seem to think that it's an either or, well, I can't make a living doing it, so I'm not going to do it. And a lot of people have enormous quality of life from being an artist on the side. Kind of like, some people play piano And they're not going to make a living playing piano, but it enhances the quality of their life. It's like meditation for them. It's relaxation. And so art always has a huge role to play in quality of life for everybody if they truly invest themselves in it. And so just to teach children to love creation or creating is quite worthwhile, lifelong. It's a lifelong enterprise for them.
That's true. And it's we start those summer camps at the museum long time ago, and we said, let's see what we can do with the kids and if the kids like it, because they're spent September through May at school, so maybe they're not going to be forcing on the summers taking more classes. But we make it attractive, interactive. Now is an art class combining with music. And then we say, well, what kind of music? Well, let us have different instruments. So we have the opportunity to have some pianos, keyboards, and guitars and violins. So those kids were experience what they like and they learn and they came back. So we say, okay, we learn a lot and we say, well, what we're doing is okay, is good for the community. They're well receiving this type of opportunity. So that's the way that we would like for them to at least experience that kind of opportunity, learn something else. And like you say, sometimes our members just say that is therapy. Coming to classes is like my therapy. It's just, I get dressed in the morning, I wake up and I go to attend one classes. And then I chat with different community, different people. I go back home and then I say, well, I'm waiting to be tomorrow because I want to continue on this painting that I'm doing. And that's the kind of vision that everybody has or idea related with art is therapy.
Are you connected with the facility downtown where they do music and
art with Roca? Yes, we collaborate. Yes, Miss Ledesma. Yes, we sometimes we ask them for their kids or ballets or groups to perform at the museum because one of our openings or activities that we're hosting, and they also invite us to be there. They have a nice building, by the way, and they have a lot of opportunities for the kids as well related to art and dance.
They do primarily music there?
Yes.
And then you have art, and then you have theater right across the road over at Gladys Porter, where they have the Leitner Theater House.
Okay. The Camille Playhouse.
The Camille Playhouse, that's what I'm thinking.
Yes.
Camille Leitner Playhouse.
Inside the Emporium Park, yes.
Yeah. So it's interesting, you have the different arts complementing each other in a very close proximity. So you have theater over here, you have the fine arts, painting, sculpture over here, music over there, all within about a mile of each other.
Children's Museum, the theater, like you say.
Very cool.
That's what we're doing as a community, growing up, bringing more attractive this city. We know that the major attraction is the zoo, and then next the Children's Museum, but the other one, the historical, the museum, the fine art museum, the Roca, the Camille Playhouse, we're doing our best also to become another institution or another stop for those tourisms that are coming to visit the city or spending vacations or visiting, I don't know, some parents or people, friends, and sometimes attending openings or events in the city. So we would like to be there for them as well and provide our services or have something to offer. And regarding Roca, yes, I remember last year we also collaborate with a presentation and some classes, and lately we collaborate with the mural, one of those murals that I was talking previously. Yes, yeah, and it's really nice because we learn from others, we support each other, and that's what the nonprofits do.
I'm working with Deyanira of the Midi Cultural District to develop a GPS tour of the murals.
Okay.
So that
awesome.
People will be able to download an app from their phone, and they'll be able to walk or drive to the murals, and then it'll tell them about the mural, who painted it, its purpose, its interpretation from the perspective of the artist, or whatever historical elements are important, maybe even the building it's on. just give them the story behind the mural.
And there's so many murals. I just learned, I was just focusing on maybe the last 3 or 4 at the city, but no, there's downtown, the Elizabeth Street. No, and the ones that we collaborate with across the streets from Roca, from the facilities. There is murals, one on the Sunrise Mall, I know, from one of those artists, Mr. Gabriel Treviño. So there's... now I heard about the Gonzalez Park. They're having that opportunity for other artists to do murals. So that is really awesome, and that's a nice idea for us to have that route and can visit all those
Dr.
murals.
Garcia, Julieta Garcia, shocked me just last week when she told me that the library at UTRGV, not the TSC library, but the new one that's on UTRGV property, that it was supposed to have a mural on the front of it, like a 3-story mural.
Okay.
I had no idea. I had no idea that they had it all developed and everything, and because of budgeting matters, it didn't ever get completed. But they actually have it, and she showed it to me on the front of the building. And now I can't unsee it. Every time I walk by the building, I said, it's missing the mural.
I know,
It's like an empty canvas that's begging.
That is good to know
art.
because there's a lot of talent here, and that is a huge wall. So
it was designed to have ceramic tiles on the front, and then it would have, the ceramic tiles would be part of the I don't know what you would call it as an artist. Each tile is a little part of the painting, So it's pixelated, I suppose, in a sense, right? A mosaic.
Mosaic.
Yeah, but not all murals are mosaics, are they? No, but if it's in a tile form, we call it a mosaic, right? Okay, good. Thanks for the education.
A few years ago, we bring a project to the museum, and we try to imitate a mural, but those students were doing it inside the museum. So we purchased those 8x4 playwoods, and they were drawing, sketching, and then painting. And at the end, we have 3 of those, and we offer those gardens with Veronica Rosenberg. She's running those gardens here on the community. So we went going to the Gonzalez Park, and they have a garden over there. And we installed those 3 murals made it by some high school students. And it was a while ago. And then we create a second one also for 3 playwoods. And it's installed on the Tyler, and I can remember that corner. Is that... Taylor Street, and it used to be that the 3 Angels Garden. I think that's they name it. They call it. But there is
right across the Boys Club.
Right across, yes, right across the Boys and Girls Club.
From the Boys Club, okay.
And that's how those students start, and it was a project, and they ended, and we at least placed it on one area, but nothing compared with those murals on the street. So that's awesome. It's a lot of art all over the city.
Well, we are having, kind of a renaissance of art in the city, and that's great.
Yes, I like it. And you know what it likes me the most is when those volunteers that assist on those murals, on the ones that the museum collaborate, they come back and just tell me, you know what, I got a job, or I was hired to paint one wall in a doctor's office. And that's a good start. I mean, for those students. Beginning, and
and to be paid for your art is a wonderful compliment.
Yes.
Very encouraging to future effort.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming in today.
You're welcome.
Grateful to get your vision for art in Brownsville.
Thank you for the invitation. I'm at the museum. I mean, if you would like to invite the community, you would like to stop by someday. We have different exhibits.
I've been to many shows there.
Really?
Yes. And
thank you for supporting the arts.
Absolutely. It's a nice, really fine facility. I wanted to finish right quick with a little story about art because it's connected to our region. Many years ago, I had a group of students in Sevilla, and we were on a study abroad program. There were students from here, from Brownsville and McAllen, and when we went there, I remembered that there was a guy that I had known years ago in high school who was a study abroad student from Sevilla, and he lived here for about a year and toured the valley and gave lots of speeches about Spain. Anyway, I just remembered him from years before, and I knew that through the grapevine that he was a vice president of Cruz Campo, which is the largest beer company in Spain.
Wow.
So I called him up and reintroduced myself, because I'd known him in high school. He'd been a student there, an exchange student, we used to call him, right? And so he was real excited that I was there with a group of students. And he said, "Oh, you must bring them to the Fabrica. You must come now." and I said, "Well, I can't come now." But he said, "Well, tomorrow, bring everybody for lunch." I said, "Everybody?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "It's about 40 people." He said, "That's fine, bring them." And so he gave us lunch at the cafeteria. And a fabulous lunch, beer, of course. And then he gave every student 8 prints of El Greco, the great Spanish artist. He gave everybody, and each one was probably worth $100, this collection. He gave it to all of them. And then he invited us all to go out on the weekend. He said, "I'm going to send buses, and I'm going to have you come out in the country to my chalet." And he said, and then he had paella made for all of us, the paella, flamenco dancers. I mean, he spent a lot of money entertaining us. And I asked him, I said, "Why?" I mean, we're grateful, but I mean, it's so strange because I saw you 30 years ago. We were friends, but you're going to a lot of trouble. And he said,
financially,
He said, but he said, the people of South Texas were the most friendly people in the world. He said they
returning something.
He said, I could do nothing more than return the gratitude that I had received all over South Texas, the most generous people.
That's the most satisfactory thing that you experience in life.
What a wonderful reputation to have, and the good karma that comes back to you, right?
The good karma.
So I thought you'd appreciate, because it was all about art. The art of food, the art of great music and dance, the art of El Greco. That's what he delivered to us. That was a great gift, and that's what we all remember. And that was
and the quality time that he spent with all of the community, the students, and with you. So, wow!
All because I loaned him
nice memories.
All because I loaned him my motorcycle when he was here.
Okay, now I know why.
All right, thanks so much. I love talking to you.
Thank you very much.
Have a good day.
Likewise, thank you.
Thanks for watching this BSPA video. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe if you like what you see. And if you really like what you see, go ahead and go to our website, brosoperformingarts.org, and smash the donate button. And then we'll really like you too.